Hey unicorns! So I have filmed a whole lot of videos today, and for one of them I did something that I kind of regret now. But you know, at the time I put on this orange lipstick, all was good. But then I tried to get out for this video. I seriously look like a basic white girl that was trying to do like some contouring stuff, and then accidentally used orange paint or something like that, and now looks like a okay, confession time. I do not know how the heck to do the Oompa Loompa dance. I don't even know their song. Now that I've said a whole bunch of things that literally make no sense for this video and are totally meaningless, it's time to actually get on to the video. For those of you that did not read the thumbnail or the title. Wait, who doesn't do that? This video is 5 more things you don't know about me. These honestly look like rainbow dreadlocks and I am in love. Number 1. I'm sure that most of you know of a thing called parkas. I'm sure at this point you're probably thinking, excuse me, how are you gonna make a thing about parkas? First of all, please be quiet. And second of all, well sadly I used to call parkas porkas! Oh my god! So you know, pork as in the meat that a lot of people eat, and then Number 2 or 3, depending on how you're counting this. When I was 10 years old, I used to love ice skating. In fact, it was one of my biggest passions. For those of you that remember, I went on a gigantic trip. This was right before the trip. I actually did it so much that I ended up in a production of Annie, which I will talk about later. But sadly, like most people, I had some really embarrassing fails. I'm pretty sure this is how this story went. Since I was so much into ice skating, I decided that I wanted to have my birthday party at the ice arena. Which sounds amazing and all, right? Well, it was, except for one teeny tiny detail. So you know, when you do something like once a week and you're really good at it, or at least you think you are. So of course, I was being a gigantic show-off. Which, as I'm sure you're guessing, did not go so well. I was going super fast on one of the sides, and then I tried to make this sharp turn, and as I was making the sharp turn, I had hit a block of ice. And as pretty much any ice skater knows, when you hit a little tiny lump of ice on the ground, it can totally F you up. So then I instantly fell flat on the ground, and thankfully my face turned a little bit. Instead of breaking my nose, I got a partial black eye. Number 3. This might have been 2 years ago, I cannot exactly remember, but a long time ago. In a squirrel, why are you doing that? Squirrel, what you doing? I literally just looked out my window and I'm seeing like this little tiny squirrel out there like, woo, woo, woo. As most of you know, I was living in Vegas at that time. My cousin had decided to fly down from Washington down to come see me, and I had a really fun time seeing them. We had walked all the way down the strip. In fact, it might have actually been off of the strip. Over to this place that has the fountain show. I think I saw Caesars. I don't remember, okay, I'm sorry. So we had walked for what seemed like years, and then finally we got there. We got to see the amazing fountain show. But walking back was not that fun. We were tired, our feet were hurting, and it was probably 3 a.m. or some stupid time like that. As I'm sure that a lot of you know, the strip is kind of a risque place. So as we were walking back, we saw this man handing out cards. And for those of you that live in Vegas or have been to Vegas, I'm pretty sure that you knew what was on those cards. So as we were coming back, one of them had accidentally dropped their card on the ground right in front of my cousin. But one of the most embarrassing things that happened on last trip was that as we were coming back, it was time for all of the, like, what can I call them on YouTube? Okay, I can't use the words because of the new rules, but they were the people that, you know, their outfits are like that and like small skirts. Okay, I'm pretty sure you can picture that. Those people were standing on the road right outside of one of those places. Literally on the sidewalk where everyone is walking. Are you serious? We then kind of tried to get my cousin to go take a photo with them. He, of course, said no. Number 4. Once again, for those of you that live in Vegas, you will know some of the creepy creatures that live there. Scorpions, cockroaches, you name it, it's probably there. In our second house in Vegas, we had a serious scorpion problem. Okay, maybe not serious, but it was pretty bad. They were always ending up in our bathtub. No, not one downstairs like you'd assume. It was upstairs. So when the exterminator came over, my mom asked him, excuse me, I was just wondering, how are they getting up there? Like, they can crawl through the bathtub drains, right? I mean, like, if I just plug up the bathtub, they can't get up here, right? I'm sorry to break the news to you, ma'am, but they don't crawl up those drains. This is the moment where my mom realized that they were somehow getting upstairs. Through the house? After that incident, my mom had nightmares pretty much the whole year that we were there of the scorpions coming through our house.
Since this room is getting really hot and I'm getting kind of tired, but yet I still have one more thing to do, I think it's time for some cherry mist. Oh yeah, party time. I'm going to smell like wonderful cherry blossoms.
God, you know nothing about my forehead, Jon Snow. And with that, it is time for the fifth and final thing. When I was a lot younger, I lived in this older house that had this gigantic elm tree in the front. It was really beautiful and it was gigantic. Luckily, in the time that I was living there, my best friend lived right up the street. So we would hang out all the time. I don't remember what season it was, but I'm just gonna call it winter. It was a cold winter day, and me and my friend were outside playing under the tree, aka mostly hiding in the bushes, crawling through the long grass. I kind of miss that time of my life. Anyways, back to the story. After a long day of playing outside, my friend had gone home and it was time for us all to go to bed. It was dark outside. Me and my mom were asleep, and then crash! Me and my mom then sprung out of bed and ran out into the living room to go see what had just happened. My mom said later that it had sounded like a train had just come right through our house. I don't know why I remember this detail, but I was wearing my Scooby-Doo dress. Scooby-Doo, where are you? Me and my mom then looked out the window, and we saw that the elm tree had fallen down on the house. We then quickly looked at all the windows and the door, and we noticed had completely ruined the deck and part of the house. We then grabbed my dad and we all went outside to go see what exactly had happened. When we got outside, it looked like a winter wonderland. There was snow everywhere and it was beautiful. But sadly, this was when we realized what had happened to the tree. The snow had fallen on its branches. And sadly, it wasn't strong enough, so it just kind of all fell over. And we noticed that both of our cars were ruined. We ended up staying in a hotel until our house was ready. Thankfully, everything was okay, we didn't die, and our house ended up being fun. And with that, it is time to finish this video. Comment down below what your favorite part / story from this video is. And also, do not forget to give this video a humongous thumbs up if you enjoyed it and would like to see more videos like this. And also, if you somehow have not done this yet, make sure to subscribe. Believe in yourself, you can do anything.